Hey, guys. Aloha and welcome. Here we are on again, missing Mondays on Tuesday, and the pups are barking because they know it is time to sit here and talk. Yes. Oh, shoot, you're right. Sleuth Mom, thank you so much. I will update all these Sorry. Okay, let me give dogs treats real quick. Let me pull out treats. Got a new story for you. Not a new story, but an old one. So pull up a chair. Let me give treats to the dogs, and we will be right back.
Aloha and welcome to the Local My Life.
Hey, we're back. And yes, the dogs all want their treats. For those of you who are new here, hello, Miss Portland. And you guys have not gotten to see the little pups who go crazy because all they want are treats as soon as I go live. Yeah. And, oh, sorry, Wrigley, your treat's up there. Uh-oh, that's not good. Did not give one of them the treat. I threw it up there. That's going to be a problem. Yeah. So he'll find it sooner or later. But anyhow, welcome. It's been too long. I've been on the mainland the last couple days. And while I had fun, I miss getting to hang out, guys. I miss getting to hanging out. Even though we did have, for those of you who did miss it, we did get to go up and do a live from the Electric Light Parade last Friday night. It's still in my channel if you guys really want to hear me screaming over tons of music and stuff like that. Yeah, it was fun. That was the first night. Some of you guys might notice someone's voice is a little hoarse. It's actually much better today than yesterday. But yeah, Loco was having fun. Yes, Loco was having fun, and I'm back from Disneyland. Hello. And also, so we will wear the ears long enough for me to say hello to those of you who have joined us tonight. Okay, my dear Sleuth Mom, who I love and adore, and I just really... Those of you, I know I've got some new people here in the channel tonight. Please check out Sleuth Mom. She's just awesome what she's been doing, getting the word out to different people. She is growing by leaps and bounds, and I'm so, while I was on the mainland, she hit 3,000 subs, and I could not have been prouder of anyone in my life. She's really been working hard. And beyond that, we got Miss Portland, who I love and I've really gotten to know over the last couple days. Hello, Miss Portland, who also we got a lot of channels here in this group. And let me go scan back here so I don't forget anyone, because you guys know I don't like to forget anyone. Siren's here. And yeah, Siren's going to be doing a makeup challenge with a couple of us later this week. Keep your eyes out on his channel for that. Straight up, hey, how you doing, my dear? How are you? Welcome. And God, I can tell already I'm going to be losing my voice halfway through tonight, so hopefully it'll last long enough for that. But how are you doing, my dear? And let's see, KK made it. How you doing, KK? Got to talk to you a couple. Hope you're doing good with the new house and all that. Someone bought a new, it's gorgeous. And maybe I'll get to see them in another couple weeks. I'll be hitting the mainland visiting my cousin, niece, something like that. She's graduating from high school, and I'm going to go visit her. So that'll be awesome. Who else do I have here? I think that's it for right now. Those of you who are hanging out in chat, hey, guys. Hope y'all are having a good day. And Christola, my dear Christola, how you doing? Christola's been coming up with some great ideas because... last couple weeks, we actually hit my 1 year here on the channel here, and we haven't officially celebrated it yet, but we will be celebrating it very soon. And she was giving me some awesome ideas on things we can do. So anyhow, now that we are, oh my gosh, how can these dogs already be done with their treat? Oh yeah, I won't even go there. And also here, you can say hi to everyone. You want to say hi, Wrigley? Say hi. Say hi. Oh, yeah, you just want kids. They missed me. They missed me a lot. Mwah, didn't you? Okay, you want to get down? Okay, you can get down. Uh-oh, and here comes the next one. You want to say hi too? Yes, they all look alike. That's Mama. Hi, Mama. Say hi, everyone. Mwah. Okay. They have missed... I have been dealing with nothing but pups in total glue mode. They are like glued to me right now. So anyhow, yeah, the ears have... I love these. These are my little Asian themed ears. Okay, we had an argument as whether or not they were Asian themed or Mulan themed. Who knows? So Caitlin's here. As I lose my voice, Caitlin's here. Hey, hey, hey. Love you, my dear. Oh my gosh. So I am so happy to be back. And yes, news. The show I was actually going to be stage managing for next has been postponed for a couple months, which means, guess what? We have more cantinas that I can do because I won't be busy on Friday nights. So cantinas will be back full time now for a while. There might be one or two here or there that I don't quite make because I'll be on the mainland. But yeah. So here, and also Star Wars. I know tomorrow is it, but for some of you, we're getting really close to it. So May the 4th be with you. I did get, and I'll show it to you guys this week on Cantina, I got my own lightsaber made. It was so cool. So, moving on. I don't feel right wearing the ears for this next portion because it's just, there needs to be a little bit of respect when it, that's just doesn't feel right. So I will put those back on next time. Yes, Caitlin, I went to Disney. I was at Disney for, if you go back and check last Friday's Cantina, it was a mini Cantina. I went live from the Electric Light Parade. And it was fun. I was there for a few days and oh my gosh, it was so much fun. We stayed at the Grand Floridian and just, it was awesome. It was really awesome. So this week is the start of an important week for those of us who are trying to get the stories, names, pictures of those who are missing out. This is probably the week that brings awareness to a population that is truly not covered. Many of you guys know the reason why I started this whole series, and yes, I got 3 dogs right under my feet right now, is because while there were certain people who got tons of attention, you had your Summers, your Gabbies, your West Boys, your all of those who got tons, and they deserve the attention. They truly, truly deserve the attention. Is Nikki there? If Nikki's there, love you. And if I miss you, I'm sorry. And but while they deserve the attention, there are so many more thousands upon thousands who need to have their story told also. That's why we started this whole thing. Okay, that's why I went and took this from just mental health and talk story to truly trying to get other names out there rather than just the ones that everyone in the world covers. And today and this whole week, especially on the 5th, and I will be doing another live on the 5th addressing a number of people in this group. And that is the missing and murdered Indigenous people. There are tons into thousands upon thousands of men, women, children, especially women and children who go missing every year who are part of the Indigenous populations, whether it be from Canada or from the, Native American, tribe areas, in the mountain zones and things like that, all across the nation. And every year they go missing. I remember I was talking to Robbie actually this morning, and I told him as I came across this story, it dawned on me when I first started deciding to do this, one of the things that had come across was he was doing a live. And on that live, he had a link to a channel which listed a website that listed every single Indigenous person that was missing right now. And when I went to, some of you guys might remember this that are Robbie watchers. Hey, Michelle, how you doing, my dear? Love you. Okay, some of you put a 1 if you happen to, I don't know how many of you remember this live. It was probably about 9 months ago. And he gave this link. And I went to this link and I looked at it and everyone on it. And I was just like, oh my, I've never heard of any of these people, any of them. And it truly saddened me, infuriated me that people could go missing and not be known. That their whole life, what? And someone needs to be out there helping them. And that's what you guys have been helping me with. Okay, I say it every single week when we do this, and you share out the posters and stuff like that. I see it every single time, how you guys come together as champions for these people. And Sleuth Mom was awesome and caught I have a typo in these posters, so I'm going to be getting the poster redone as soon as I get off of this. Sorry, I'm still kind of on a different time zone and not feeling the greatest, but I'll be back to normal soon. So I wanted to first just say this week, last year, President Biden named May the 5th the Missing and Murdered Indigenous People Awareness Day. So as you guys know, today's the 3rd. Day after tomorrow will be that day for this year. We need to get some of these names out. Can we get all of them? Unfortunately, no. But we can get people out there. This one little girl I'm going to talk about today, the family is kind of expecting at this point. They are looking for her to be able to put her to rest. And I don't care. And this is what I say. It's like the same thing with runaways. It doesn't matter if they're a runaway. It doesn't matter if we're almost positive that they're gone, like Ariel. Okay, they deserve to be put to rest. Their family deserves to have a place to go. And so this site that you're looking at right now is actually one of the sites that has been put together to really help us in recognizing the people who are missing. I'm doing something a little different than I normally do. I'm going to be sharing a lot more on websites today and news stories, because one of the things that I've loved about this story is the faith and hope and belief that their daughter is going to be fine and that they will find her. Whether it is alive or not, they will find her. And they believe in the hope that's there. So these numbers come to this site, okay? It's BIA.gov. And you can kind of see, and I'm going to share with this a little bit more later this week, how the numbers have been changing. How over the last couple months to years, instead of where everyone else, we're seeing some increases in people, disappearing and all, this is just going straight up. Okay, the number of people being reported from this group is just increasing by leaps and bounds. And I apologize for someone barking so much, but they're just increasing horribly. And we've got to do something about it. Okay, it's just, Sleuth Mom, it's devastating the numbers that are missing at this point. So, hopefully we can get some of these things out. This is the week to bring to people's attention what's going on. So I'm going to ask you guys to work with me a little bit with this one, because like I said, I am going to be reading from some articles this time just because there is so much. This little girl went missing about a year ago. So there's been a lot that's gone on in this case. And as I mentioned, there's not only a lot that's gone on with it, the way the family has approached this has been pretty inspiring in my eyes. Okay, I'm going to share the Facebook page at the end and all that. It's really been amazing what they've done. So just to share with you guys first, okay, the little girl that we're going to be talking about today is Ardie, or her real name, legal name is Arden, but she went by Ardie, Pepion. She went missing at age 3 years old, and while it does say she went missing April 22nd, 22, it was April 22nd, 21, 1921, 2021. You can tell I'm tired. I'm sorry. And also from Browning, Montana. Now, was a member of the Blackfoot Nation. She is from the Glacier area. And as you're going to see from some of these pictures, it's a large area of wilderness, of creeks, rivers, mountains, and it was snowing. There's been snow after that. They've really been searching. The one thing that has infuriated me, actually, in this case is the amount of time that was really looked at for finding her. I really, really got upset, actually literally pissed, when I saw how long they looked for this little girl. We are saying literally she went missing, wasn't reported for 4 or 5 hours after that. They didn't really start looking for her until, about a day later. Hey, here she goes. Within a day of that happening, they decided, it's a recovery mission. They're not even going to look for her. It's a recovery now. They just look for her body. And then literally in less than 2 weeks, they decided to stop looking because it was too cold. Yeah. A little 3-year-old is not worth looking any longer than less than 2 weeks because it's too cold. There were other issues that combine in with this whole problem with the Indigenous going missing, and that is someone else went missing during this time frame, and all of a sudden now you had a small police force that was split into two. How do you get in such large areas enough people looking? So the family has had a lot to deal with in trying to find her. There have been some arrests in this, and we'll kind of go through that also. And she is just a real, this little girl is absolutely adorable. Imagine her being cold. Exactly, here she goes. Exactly. I mean, I'm going to go through some of these pictures. In fact, let me real quickly just do this. They were out looking, The police were out at first trying to do as much searching as they could on their own. The problem running within all that is that they only had so many people to look for. And then after that, they started getting other people from the outside. Now, things that I found that were just amazing is how this community will come together. Sorry, I'm pulling something else up also. This community will come together and they will support. And that's the one thing with this Indigenous group that has shown me so much is how they come together as one big family. It kind of reminds me of the Aloha spirit, the Ohana spirit out here. So the first article I wanted to share with you guys, is actually just kind of tying it in, because what the parents were saying within this is, she did, KK, she did live on a reservation. And that's kind of what went into a lot of this stuff. So basically, I'm going to go ahead and read from some of these articles as we go through, and we'll go back and forth on this. So it was in Glacier County, which is in Montana. As this says, the parents of a 3-year-old, Ardie Pepion, are offering a reward. Now, the reward was pulled together through money from a GoFundMe. I think the GoFundMe still occurs here. Hey there, Mrs. Portland. The GoFundMe is still out there for things. Everyone's come together trying to find this little girl at that point. So they do have a reward out for information that could lead to her. She was last seen on April 22nd at about 7 p.m. in the vicinity of Josho East Road off of U.S. Highway 89, which was a couple miles southeast of Browning. She lived in Browning itself, from what I understand. Her mom and dad are Arbana and Aaron Pepion. And they themselves have really been trying to do everything possible to keep their daughter in the forefront of everything. They've had a Facebook group where they've been posting and trying to keep her memory alive. And I can tell you myself, I don't see them involved in this at all. And we will be kind of going over exactly what happened within them. She did live with her grandmother. So the parents did say, okay, that their daughter had a big voice and a huge personality. Okay. She and her two siblings, okay, lived with grandma. However, mom and dad were very involved in their lives. Hey, Darren, how you doing? No problem. Yeah, no, you take care of yourself, Darren. This is what I was telling, okay, a bunch of people, you know, this is not for everyone. I love you guys who support me and support those people who come here to try to get the word out about these people, but you need to take care of your own health. And this is hard to listen to these stories at times. It really is. So when they were out there, what happened from what it looks like is she lived with grandma, and grandma let her go out with her uncle, her biological uncle. And in fact, let me see if I could pull this up for you just to show you a picture of him. Sorry again. There's biological uncle and girlfriend. They went out shooting. Okay, they were out shooting, and there's a lot of wildlife in this area. That's one of the big concerns, to be honest. And while they were working on the guns, reloading guns, things like that, they turned around and they could not find Ardie anymore. Okay, Ardie just went missing. So they went looking for Ardie, trying to find her. There are things that I'm going to go through, a much longer article that goes through the specifics of the case. But that's, in theory, what happened was she wandered off, is the working theory here. And but what the parents have said, and one of the things I really wanted to bring up before we got into the deep, deep stuff here, is the parents talk about how their daughter had such a huge personality. She loved to talk. She loved Frozen. Okay, she danced. She tried to learn all the TikTok dances. You guys know what it's like to have a 3, 4, 5, 6-year-old child. Okay, and her huge personality. Hey, Jet's mom. Her huge personality, they never thought in their lives they would see her personality basically making hopefully some changes. People recognizing the Indigenous need to be found. So many going missing. Okay, and I hate to say it, a lot of times people don't look for the 21-year-old, the 26-year-old or something like that. But you hear a 3-year-old, we should be hearing more about this. And that is why they're looking. Okay, and mom's quote was, it shouldn't have took Arden to shine a light on this reservation, to show exactly what was missing. I always knew that she had a big voice, but I didn't know it was going to be this big. Okay, again, like I said, she was on a reservation. There's different rules, different ways of going and trying to find people. Much more limited. Do you bring in FBI? Can they? All those different things. Big issue there. On top of it, there was a 26-year-old who went missing 5 days later. So all of a sudden in the small area, you got another person missing. How do you find all these people? And the community is standing up now. And that's what I'm going to share some of on Thursdays, how the community is standing up. The community is saying this can't keep going on. This is how our future, okay, our women are the ones training our future generations. Okay, sharing the culture, keeping the culture going, and we can't just keep losing them like this. Okay, so it's definitely something that we're starting to see more where they're jumping up. Families, as they started researching for everyone, trying to find her, doing searches. Communities were doing things I don't see us doing out here in a more European community. One of the things that really got me was They were actually, there was a family out there that had an injured bull. Okay, cow, male cow. And they took that cow and they gave it to a slaughterhouse. I'm sorry, but a slaughterhouse, and were able to get meat together to help feed all of the people that were coming in and trying to search for this little girl. That's a tie that we don't see so often. And it was amazing to see people come together like that. Oh no, Michelle, don't you worry at all. I mean, guys, this is what I'm going to say right now. When you guys come to these videos, whether they be sleuths, mine, lip-locked, savages, I know I'm missing, Arctic Fox, all these people that we listen to, okay, that don't do the normal everyday things, what you're doing, by just being here, you're increasing the algorithm. You're increasing the chance that someone is going to search for missing people and this name is going to pop up. Those thumbs ups aren't for us in here. It's for the missing child. So every little thing that you guys do by being here makes the difference. Sharing, all those things. It makes so. Michelle, just being here, you have no idea how much. Okay, it's increasing that algorithm, which is awesome. So let's go on into the actual story of what's been going on here. Let me see. Family. Here we go. There we go. So I'm going to kind of read through a lot of this stuff because there's a lot that happened within this. Please, okay, hopefully my voice will hold out. But what you're seeing here is you're seeing, okay, mom and one of the people who've been searching. Her name is Arbana, and they've been out there looking it sounds like almost daily at this point. Okay, mom's heart has amazed me. Mom has had little things. You know, we all look for those little signs. She wrote something in Facebook about how one morning she was having a really rough morning and she dug into her dresser and pulled out, not even knowing she was pulling this out, a box that had some stuff that Ardie had given her. And on it, it had the word hope written. Those little signs that we don't recognize as signs, and they're signs that they're letting us know right now. And that's why I think this has hit me so much on this case. So let me see. Let me help you all with this. So looking up in the cliffs, stretching across the fields of the Blackfeet Reservation, Arbana recognized an eagle's nest cradled in the rocks above. She said she's seen her 3-year-old daughter, Arden, standing in the same nest in her dreams, guiding her somewhere. Those are the things that her daughter's still talking to her. Her daughter's giving her answers. Okay, it's up to us to find and get the word out and help them get money, if it's through the GoFundMe, to be able to do more searching. If by chance, we don't know if she may have been picked up, there's always that chance. Okay, I hate to say it, but this is a large place. Who's to say someone else wasn't also out there hunting that day and saw this little girl out there alone and picked her up? We don't know. Again, and we need to be there. Her daughter, KK, you hit it on the head. Her daughter is comforting her. That's the way things are. I want to get justice. I want answers, Arbana said of her daughter's disappearance. Earlier this week, a team from the Missoulian traveled to Browning to search alongside and interview the family members of Arden, who's been missing since April 22nd, 2022. So we're talking a year and 1 week now. Arden, known as Ardie by friends and family, disappeared in the area surrounding Joe Show East off U.S. Highway 89 South. It was a Blackfoot Blackfoot law enforcement that had to look into this. When Blackfeet law enforcement announced they were scaling back their search for Arden on May 1st. So, little girl goes missing on the 22nd. It was 7 o'clock. She was last seen. It wasn't reported for 4 to 5 more hours after that. They didn't even start searching for her probably till the next day. By May 1st, they scaled back the whole search. Her family then began leading their own searches, hiring private detectives, private investigators. Okay, as I said, there was the GoFundMe so that they could afford this type of thing. Anyone who's ever done this or been part of this knows it costs a lot of money to do this type of thing. Over the past month, conflicting accounts of what happened to Arden and frustration with how the local law enforcement has handled Arden's disappearance have become prominent pillars of the case. It's why I'm sharing this, because it's nothing to come down on the tribal law enforcement or anything, but this is the problem we've got right now with the Indigenous, population going missing and all, is there's so many problems with trying to connect different levels of law. There's so many things about this person can do this group takes this more serious, this does that. We need to come together for these people. And that's why I'm making such a point about reading all this stuff out today. Evidence from searches and information from the family and law enforcement point in different directions. On April 22nd, Arden was supposed to be in the care of Arbana's mother, so her maternal grandmother. Instead, she was believed to be with a family friend who was not her guardian. Now, what I can tell you on that family friend was actually her uncle. Okay, there was nothing like, this uncle had issues. Okay, not that I know of, at least. However, she was handed off to the rest of the family to take care of, which, I'll be honest, that's no different than anything else, okay? I know here, how many times have, an auntie or an uncle taken care of a child here? It happens all the time. When you live on this type of family, Ohana type of connection, this type of thing does happen. So at that point, his name was Hahax VL. And I kind of went and showed you guys the picture there with him. In a recent phone interview with the Missoulian, VL confirmed he was with Arden the night she went missing. The two of them had spent time together beforehand, and on the evening of April 22nd, he'd gone to Two Medicine area near Joe Show East to hang out. He wanted to practice shooting. Okay, so she had been with me before I was shooting, so it wasn't like this was someone she had never been with or things like this. This was normal. Okay, he noticed while they were out, he noticed she was missing while he was reloading his gun. After looking around, he saw footprints leading towards the river, about 40 to 50 yards from where the water was. Now, guys, you guys know me. I am not one to go and say, this. I look at all the different options. Water, dangerous. Okay, 3-year-old needs to be watched every minute of the time. Okay, whether she actually was going there, he had a gun, could something have happened, and then covering up for it. So many different things that could have happened. The problem is we really don't know anything on this case. VL and his girlfriends searched for several hours. First major issue I have. Someone goes missing. Maybe this is the difference between someone living on a reservation between other areas. To me, someone goes missing like that, I'm going to be getting law enforcement. You know this is a large area, especially after a couple hours. Okay, 2 people searching for a couple hours. No, you need to get a much larger group of people. Okay, so he noticed, they went ahead, they called law enforcement. Sleuth Mom, what we got here? I just Googled. They do have federal jurisdiction. Okay, I'd wondered about that, and I wanted to do some more research, and I didn't quite get that far. Okay, I'm not sure if they... And see, that's part of the issue here. One of the other issues that I did want to bring up on this is Amber Alert. I looked at the Montana Amber Alert rules, and I don't see why they could not have put out an Amber Alert on this little girl. It just doesn't make sense to me. There were a lot of things, and was it because she's Indigenous? I don't know. It's not up to me to say was it or not. All I can do is say, is it a possibility? So they searched forever, looking for a couple hours, looking for her. When they couldn't find her, they contacted law enforcement to report her disappearance. In a Thursday press conference, Blackfeet law enforcement spokesman Frank Goings confirmed there was a 5 to 6 hour gap between when Arden went missing and when it was reported to officials. You're right, KK, racial profiling. I definitely think there was probably some level of that here. Okay, also there is, I will be honest, coming from an area that does have its, we tend to be very, stick within our own internal groups and all. You try to deal with things as much privately as possible. And could that have taken place? Yeah, it's possible. I could see that happening here. I really could. But yeah, sorry, I'm just checking out. But yeah. So, but that's a big thing. 5 to 6 hours is a long ass time, excuse my language, to not report a missing child, in my own opinion. My opinion only. Investigating officers did say they found footprints believed to be hers leading to the river in their initial search. So that becomes more of a concern at that point, whether or not she got into the water. Okay. On April 25th, divers found a boot of hers in the river. So more and more things looking like the little one got into the river. And let me give you an idea. Sorry, I'm going to pull this up real quick for y'all to show you guys. So this is some of the search areas, kind of showing where they had to search. Okay, so we're not talking really deep from what I can tell, but I'm sure there are deep areas. But this is a 3-year-old. She's 3 feet tall. We can see from this just how it's coming up on them that it's probably 3 feet deep in some locations. Okay, the area itself, as you can see here, is it's barren. Okay, you are out in the, wild. Christola, let me see here. Read your comments. That's why I don't let my kids go far away. You can't trust people as long, and that's the thing. Okay, and there's definitely, you've got to take, your children are the most precious gift in the world you can be given. Most precious gift you can be given. And you can trust people, but can you trust them at times? Because that one family member, even if, say, they didn't do anything wrong other than turn away for a few minutes. We've all heard stories of parents turning away for a few minutes, and some things happen. But there's also so many other potentials of what can happen there. So a lot of things where they've been searching. They were even searching just earlier this week. And okay, back to, here we go. Let me, whoopsie, you don't want to see that, do you? No. Sorry, doggy, we do, okay, there we go. Now you guys can follow along with me. Okay, and yes, Crystal, in those types you have drop-offs. Yeah, you're at a very, very shallow area, then all of a sudden, boom. And yeah, exactly. So, and they did find her boot and stuff like that. Let's see, going on. Arden's family and search teams are still unsure about what exactly happened to her. And I can tell you right now, they're no closer to figuring out now than they were at the time this was written, a month after she disappeared. Officials believe she drowned in the river, said Irene Pepion, Arden's paternal grandmother. She and Arbana think there is more to the story. I think if they found the boot, it seems like they should have found her body by now. Where is she? Did she really go in the river? See, this is the thing with this. As even us, our minds start playing games with it. Like I said, he had a gun. Could he accidentally? By the way, hi, Louisiana girl. I miss seeing you come in. And could something have happened with the gun? Could she had, well, like I said, walked away and someone saw her and grabbed her? That's why I'm saying I don't care what they said. This little girl needs to still be in the public eye. The same way Summer is this, how many months after disappearing? And yet no one knows her name. Family's still searching. So on May 1st, Blackfeet law enforcement scaled back the search efforts after less than 2 weeks. In the 10 days they had been investigating the area, they reported covering about 60 miles of land and river in the Two Medicine area. So they covered a lot of space. 2 weeks. That's all a 3-year-old was given, was 2 weeks. The family was authorized at that point to hire a private company to continue investigative efforts. Pete Fuller, who was the gentleman in the picture we saw with Mom, owner of Kinto Canine LLC, was brought on to help the search. And yes, Sleuth Mom, my thought exactly. Someone easily could have had her boot, put footprints down, okay, and thrown it into the water. We don't know. All we know is this little girl is not with us right now and should be with her mom and her dad. In the last few weeks, belongings of Arden, separate from the boot found on April 25th, were found by private teams in wilderness areas a few miles away from the river. Okay, so things getting more and more confusing. How in the world could a child go into the water, lose their boot, supposedly drown, and yet other items are found inland? Something not sounding right here. Okay. No, Louisiana girl, I don't think Adventures with Purpose has been contacted. I may be wrong on that, but I don't think. I'll be honest with you, Louisiana girl, I just came across this case this morning. That's what's so sad about this. This little girl should have been one of the forefront names on my. We all know all these other names. Why do we not know this 3-year-old? Okay, so the sweatshirt she was wearing when she went missing has still not been found. Arden was wearing a purple jacket with a unicorn design on the front when she went missing, according to news releases. This is what also gets me frustrated. Arden's family has said the information is incorrect, and instead she was wearing a gray pullover sweater with the word glacier printed across the front. So we've got confusion over what she was even wearing. And it is just frustrating beyond all. Yeah, I'm just going to leave it at that. Fuller's first day on the ground was Tuesday, May 18th. He said the following day, a second private company with drones was brought on to help. And yes, they did bring drones on and were able to get video footage, okay, from the air. Several of Arden's family members have also spent days out looking in different areas to try to find her body or clothing items, anything. Okay, like I said, it really touched my heart the way the whole community came together to make sure to feed, because they did not want everyone out there searching. Law enforcement was like, no, you can bring in private investigators, but I don't want all these other people out there because of chances of more people getting lost, yeah? So what did they do? Well, it's kind of like us here. We want to help. We want to help, but what can we do when we don't live nearby to search? Well, in our case, we can get the news out by sharing pictures and names and stories and stuff like that. In their case, they were able to share their cow to be able to make meals for the people who were out searching. Okay, they were able to help support by cooking for the people who were searching. I know that's hard to hear for a lot of us that live in, okay, nowadays world where we just hit McDonald's, but I think it's amazing. And sounds great, Louisiana girl. Take it easy, get some good night rest. And so several of Arden's family members have also spent days out looking in different areas to try to find her body or clothing items. They have set up camps and have had help from volunteers. Support and donations from the local community have been made, okay, to make everything easier. In fact, from what I understood, if I remember the number right, from that one donation of the cow, each family was given something like 125 pounds of meat to help in cooking meals for people who were out searching. And that's what Ohana is. That's what all this is about, is coming together for a little girl. A GoFundMe link has been a source of support for the family searches as well. Fuller has spent the past few weeks searching the surrounding areas where Arden was last seen. He estimates having already covered dozens of miles spanning the Two Medicine River, to the canal and wilderness across the highway. I'm working for the family. I'm working for baby Arden, Fuller said. They have done grid searches for Arden, working in 50-foot circles in the Two Medicine area with one search and rescue dog and one cadaver dog. What I love here is they haven't given up. This was a month later. The police gave up, law enforcement gave up after 72 hours. Here they were like, no, we've got the cadaver dog. We've got to be, to some degree, realistic. But on the other hand, we've got hope. We've got hope. We've got that hope, and we will always have that hope. And weather conditions have posed some challenges to their efforts. Some days they've been rained and snowed out, which makes accessing the area right around the river difficult. Weather has also impaired the dog's ability to smell things. That's something we've talked about with like the summer case. Does weather affect the dog's ability to smell things? And this is actually addressing that exact issue. As temperatures rise and snow melts, searching will become easier because the area she went missing from is an active spot for wildlife, namely mountain lions, bears. The possibility of her being lost to a cat or a bear is strong also. So there's a lot of different possibilities. And like I said, this is a hard one to listen to. But it's something this little girl deserves that respect from us. Okay, if she can live through this, if she can go through this, can we deal with a couple minutes of feeling uncomfortable? It's the least we can do in helping get her word out. And the river will freeze, KK, exactly. The river will freeze. And it's going to affect their ability, and it did freeze. Okay. And yeah, Sleuth Mom, exactly. When you got wild animals in the area, it's not only her you worry about, it's those people who are out there searching. What if they turn the corner and have a mountain lion or a grizzly or something like that? And so it's things that, these are the cases that need the heavy duty group, coordinated search, the organized search. They don't need the haphazard type things. They need people coming together. Okay, chasing our tails. So dissatisfaction with the local law enforcement's handling of the case has left Arden's family feeling lost and confused, which I completely understand. Fuller and the family have asked for answers and tangible information from Blackfeet law enforcement to help in their private searches, but have been given nothing. One of the things I kept reading as I did this is media after media have asked law enforcement for information. Not a single phone call replied. That's a problem. That's the problem. Okay, when family can't get information, much less media, you can't get information to help in looking for your loved one. Okay, we'd like more background. We'd like a better timeline. They have ourselves chasing our tails. Arden's parents were not notified of her disappearance. She found out through a family friend who sent her a web link to the announcement. Now, what is wrong about these things? This is the problem I have with this whole thing, okay? We've got enough problem with the Indigenous missing and no one actually really, giving a shit. Okay, and yet their own law enforcement who should be holding their hand and helping them through the process aren't even letting them know that their child has gone missing. And they're supposed to be trusted by the family to look for them. I don't know. When officials called off the search on May 1st, the family was again not directly notified. Thursday's press conference was the first public update on Arden's case since they called off searches on May 1st. Arden's father, Aaron, points to a lack of training and organization in rescue and recovery. And I think that's exactly where everything is. You're dealing with law enforcement groups who don't have the full force training that a lot of the larger cities have. Okay, my gut is saying you probably have some person who is just a community member who's like, oh, I'd like to be a police officer, a law enforcement person. Oh, here you go. Here's your badge. That's what I suspect's happening. And that's why it's important that we start getting some of this training done for them so that they can look for people in a better way. So, he feels the people brought in to do the initial investigation were not properly trained for the kind of search mission this case entailed. They might have had good intentions, but they may need better training. We want to bring her home. We want our daughter home. Arden's family wishes an Amber Alert had been issued when she was first missing. Arbana thinks this would have helped raise awareness about her disappearance, and we hear this over and over. Why are more Amber Alerts not being put out? In the case of this, from what I'm understanding, there are not a lot of requirements in Montana. Okay, why was there not one put out? Okay, in their Thursday press conference, Blackfeet law enforcement said they did not believe Arden was abducted, and her case did not meet the criteria for issuing an Amber Alert, which is, I need to take a little closer look on that to be positive 100%, but my early look at this looks like I don't see why she could not have. But I do need to take a closer look at that. I cannot say that 110%. They're planning on resuming search efforts in the coming days. Blackfeet law enforcement did not return a request for comment again, not talking to people. Described by her family as vibrant and playful. Let me bring up this cute little picture. Described by her family as vibrant and playful, Arden was known for putting a smile on the face of anyone she meets. She really has her own little personality, Irene said. An avid lover of music, Arden was always bouncing around and finding new songs to dance to. When she wasn't at her preschool or with friends, she could be found trying to learn new TikTok dances with her older sisters, Alexis, Maxine, and Maddie. Arden was obsessed with anything related to Disney and loved its music. I agree, KK, we really need to rethink our Amber Alert system. There are a lot of things we need to. While I was at Disney, we had a Silver Alert come out. There are so many different types of alerts going on. People don't know what's what. We really need to take a look at our whole process at this point. So ever since she was a little baby, she always listened to music. She was really bright for her age. And let me see if this pulls this up. I don't know if no, it's not going to pull up. Here we go. Let's see. Yeah, my camera, that's not going to work. There we go. I don't know if I shared the music part, but he's such a cute little one. She is so adorable. Going forward, Arden's family wants justice and closure. Someone has to be held accountable. Irene said, VL, the uncle needs to be held accountable for her going missing. Arbana wants Arden to be found and for the family to be able to hold a proper burial. And that's the thing. That's what people do. Sorry, there go the dogs. That's what people do not realize. All these families want. Sometimes I think this family has come to understand Ardie's probably not with us anymore. Chances are. They feel that, especially, Christola, like you said earlier. I think it was Christola. She's talking to them, by having her mom reach into her clothes drawers and touching a box that was given to her that says hope. Seeing dreams of her in a nest and then seeing that nest. There's signs coming. All they want is to be able to have her back. And that's how it is for so many families. As it says here, it's harder for a family to grieve without a body. Something I hear regularly, out here in Hawaii. We have people who go out in the water, in the ocean, and they never return. And the family knows what most likely happened, but it's so hard to just accept and move on when you can't say goodbye to that person, if that makes sense. And hi, crazy chicken lady, and see you still there, Mrs. Portland. Arbana wants Arden, oh, we did that. Arbana wishes Arden did not have to go missing for a light to be shed on the Blackfeet community's missing and murdered Indigenous persons raped, and hopes her daughter's case can serve as an example in the future. That's what I love about this family. They are looking at this as, you know what? They've lost their daughter, but their daughter, her life meant something. Her life means that people need to start addressing this whole issue of the Indigenous going missing. And that's something that can be left for them, okay, to know and to be able to hold on to. The family and the private search companies plan to continue looking for answers until something more concrete can be found. I'm not going to give up. And that's one thing she's never done. They have never, ever given up on this. They have never. I went to their Facebook page, which I'll be sharing right at the end of this today. And one of the things that really got me there is, you guys know we all have our gender announcement things, gender reveals and all that. They had one. This little girl was everything. Okay, picture here. There's her ultrasound of this little girl. How many of you guys have your little ultrasounds of your little baby? Up there on the thing, that was the gender reveal they had for her. And they were so excited when they found out they had another little girl coming. Okay, they truly, this family continues living on with her memory. And they love that little girl so much. And you can see it in what they do every day in that Facebook. Yeah, Mrs. Portland, you got yours? See, that's it. I mean, these are the things that we all remember. These are the things we keep. We keep close. And so now what happened in this case? This is where, let me see, everything comes together with this guy here. So let me pull up the next thing. Basically, what ended up going on in this case is, let me see if I can find this. Here we go. Boom. There we go. So when you found out, you kept it. Yep. I think everyone, if you've ever had an ultrasound, that little thing's there forever. Okay. Tons of pictures of it nowadays on your phone and all that. So basically what happened with Viel, the guy who she had gone out shooting with and all that, is that he was brought up on charges of neglect surrounding his care for her. Okay, he did plead guilty. At first, he did not think he had done anything wrong. And but in the end, he did plead guilty to the negligent endangerment and was sentenced in relation to her disappearance. Now, as for what... I don't know. I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts on this. He was given a 9-month suspended sentence. He served those 9 months on house arrest. He's done. I suspect by now. Okay, if this was written, when was this written? October. Nope, he's still on house arrest right now. So I'm wrong about that. He is on house arrest right now. He has accepted responsibility for her loss and admitted he did not exercise appropriate care for someone of her age. How many more times do we have to keep hearing about people who do not take care of a child that young? What do we have to do for people to understand a 2-year-old, a 3-year-old, a 4-year-old cannot be allowed to run free outside, especially when there's guns being shot somewhere around? He also has to pay a $1,000 fine with half of that amount suspended, so $500. Viel is permitted to travel to work, so he's allowed to continue work and will be supervised by probation. He initially, and this is what I was meaning, initially he had said he was not guilty. He changed that over time. He did change that. He did, of course, like we said, he said he had done this. He was there. He was with his gun shooting, all that. And at that time, everything happened. I don't know. I would be interested. Those of you in chat, how do you guys feel? It's a hard one because exactly, Sleuth Mom, exactly what I was thinking there too. That's why I'm having problems with this. If it was genuinely an accident, I can see it because he will never forgive himself. He will never forgive himself. If it was genuinely an accident. However, that time gap. Okay, not watching her during that whole time. Especially if you had a gun out. Who's to say a little 3-year-old's not going to run in front of where you're shooting or stuff like that? I don't know. My mind goes back and forth on it. My mind literally goes back and forth on it. There's so many red flags. But on the other hand, I'm also one of those people who's very forgiving because I feel that people can, if their heart truly, truly is asking for forgiveness, we should grant them forgiveness. But the problem is this guy also did not want to take responsibility to begin with. And it sounds like it was only later that he did. So I don't know. I'm not sure how I feel about that, to be honest, either. I'm kind of going back and forth. I really honestly am. I'm not sure where to go with that. What I can say is that for the family, they don't feel like it was. Okay, they feel, where was it here? The families of Arden's read victim impact statements at Tuesday's hearing. Diana Bird has been helping the Arden parents and family with search efforts and was with the family after the hearing adjourned. It's a hard pill to swallow, adding that she thought the sentence would be harsher. This was her life, Arden's life. It's not okay to just lose a kid. Arbana Pepion, Arden's mom, said she does not feel like a step towards justice was made. Search efforts continue as long as and that's where they were left. That's where the family, it's so much that they have to get through to try to come up with that. So it's a hard one. I'm not sure exactly where I stand with a lot of that stuff either. Because you don't want to destroy his life either if it truly was just one of those times that all these bad things led up to something horrible. And so it's a hard one. It's a hard one. But the family does keep hoping. Okay, the little lights out all the time for hope. And they've created this little sign. That little sign is over by the area off of the highway, just off the highway. And they've asked people that anytime, if you were part of the people who searched or sent donations in or anything, stop by and sign it because you're part of their family. You're part of what has helped them during this time. And so it's the beauty in what this family has been like is what has really touched me. And so I did mention to everyone, and I did want to share it real quickly, the Facebook page. Here we go. Let me see. Here we go. This is the Facebook page. And Arden Pepion Holding Hope. And this was actually posted just yesterday. And I did want to go through this real quickly before we finish everything out. And it's an amazing group of people here. It really is a great group of people from what I've found as I've been looking around. Elizabeth, that's the thing. Okay, this didn't shock me quite as much when I saw it was empty. Yep, they're up my way. And that's the thing. Being a Native girl, she ranked even lower in society. And that has to change. A life is a life is a life. A little girl is a little girl. Who's to know what this little girl could have done in the rest of her life? Okay, we've got to be more open to recognizing this. It's been a year since Robbie did that live where he talked about how many Indigenous women and children were missing a year. And yet I don't think we've made any step forward about this. You did, Sleuth Mom, 3 months. I did not. Yeah, it's just, it's hard to look at and recognize. So this was the update as of yesterday. Searching for, written by Diana Bird, who's the lady who's been helping them we just talked about. Searching for Arden has never been easy. It has been a train wreck from day one. We spent 6 months searching over 20 miles of rivers. It was so much, and because of the obstacles, we knew we needed cadaver dogs. Because someone who knew someone, we got those dogs. These dogs are amazing. They put us in an area about 3/4 mile long. So we have eliminated a big amount of river by not only the dogs, but by searching all summer. Northern Cheyenne search team is a big help. In this area, there is 2 green holes, a number of beaver slides, a wall of roots, and a log jam that we never came close to putting a dent in clearing it. We realized we needed divers, and after searching and asking numerous dive teams, a friend knew someone who knew someone, and just like that, divers. I believe 100% about God's love and mercy. Try showing that love to a family that can't believe God would allow their daughter to go missing in such weird circumstances. So many whys and questions we don't know know the answers to, but every time we ask for something, we get it. Underwater cameras, bear spray, cadaver dogs, now divers. Yesterday, I felt like we were starting all over when we walked up by the gravel pit. Why did he take us so long to call Arden in as missing? Why were her clothes found in the trunk? Over and over like an episode of Groundhog Day. So many questions I asked, and my main one was, were search dogs used at the beginning? If so, what type of dogs, and did they hit anywhere? We, of course, never got the answer. Then last week, a police report that states information about the first dogs and what the results were. That information would have helped us 10 months ago. It is what it is, and all I know is we took the long road, but God has provided for us every time we asked. Divine connections that only God could have orchestrated. Things that normal people like us don't have access to. Yesterday, I had one big question, and that was, why to Medicine River? Why did Nugget and I have to drive by these 2 parents searching the water alone? Did he see yesterday and have a plan for us all? Everything I do, I base on the fact that God has had his hand on us this entire time. Yesterday was gender reveal day, and we had 2 men that traveled a long way join us in our celebration. 2 divers that came to help us find Arden. Yesterday, I took a picture of the exact moment Bonna and Aaron found out it's a girl, pregnant. They are both smiling, but I noticed Aaron look at Bonna to see if she was happy. They are both smiling. Did God see this moment in his plan? I don't know, but I bet he planned every second. He knew there would be 4 crazy women brave enough to search in bear country for a little girl. He knew the men that accompanied them every trip would protect them from harm. He knew it all. So, changes. God is strong. God has a way of helping families through cases like this. As we're hearing here, Mom is pregnant again, it looks like. Okay. She's got a little girl coming. And, but this little one is still with them every day in their hearts. So we still have the missing girl, and we need to bring her home. Please, guys, go here. There's the group. Take a look at it. If you feel like going in there and helping to support the family. Okay, I know, Sleuth Mom, thank you for sharing the link for the family, for supporting the family. They could truly use any help they can right now. Because as you saw, all those things, okay, cadaver dogs, diving, all these things, they just show up. So please take a look, because God will pull it all together. He does. He does every day. So she is still missing, and there is hope. I will be putting out a new poster of this with that date corrected. I'm also going to add in the secondary clothing that her family said she was wearing. Family says she was wearing something different that the police were saying. So at least we can have both covered. So I'm going to add that in there also. If you can help me get that out. I know this has been a long one, hour and 10. This is one of our longest ones ever. Thursday is National Missing Murdered Indigenous People Awareness Day. I will be doing another live on that day where we can just quickly go through a bunch of different people and kind of share stories out real quickly. Try to get a couple more stories told. So thank you guys. And Sleuth Mom, thank you for sharing that link again. Really, thank you for sharing that link. And if you can help me share this information, I really want to thank y'all for joining in today, because I've missed hanging out with y'all. Okay, I know these are hard stories for us to look at. They really are hard. But it's great to sit there and look at what God did. He's given that family another little one. I think that's awesome. I mean, God will be there for families. Okay, God is still there. Okay, little Ardie could still be talking to her family and trying to help her family. And I love it. I love it. So, and that's Elizabeth. That's the thing. Look at that. Elizabeth just shared that GoFundMe, $2,233. So if we can all, okay, and I'm talking about myself too. Okay, this little girl, yes, it's been a year, but they're still searching for her. They will never give up. They're never going to give up. We saw here, they're still going looking for things. They still need the money, because even if these things are showing up in their laps, you know what? Wouldn't it be nice if they could go to these people who are saying, no, we'll do it for free, and say, yeah, thank you, but we'd like to give you something to say thank you. And also, please, guys, like Sleuth Mom just said, okay, on all these things, put a thumbs up. Not for all of us who are doing the talking right now, but for the person, in this case for Ardie. Help us get it on the algorithm. Help it pop up when people pull up, because they can't remember Summer's name. So what they do is they put missing little girl, and maybe Ardie's name will pop up. That all comes down to the algorithm. And you guys have the power on that algorithm. So thank y'all so much. You guys are the bomb. I love each and every one of you so much. And I will be seeing you guys around. Some of you in chats, some of you in videos. Share. Yes, Elizabeth. Thank you so much. Share. I'm going to go take care of some very loud puppies who want my attention all of a sudden. And we will continue this discussion for this week as we just bring Indigenous women, children, and men and their disappearance to the forefront, and remind people that they matter too. And we need to keep our eyes out for them. Mrs. Portland will be going live shortly. Amazing. Awesome. Please check out Mrs. Portland. She's fun to listen to. And also, okie dokes. Talk to y'all later. Love y'all. Aloha and mahalo. Love you guys.